Mages use balls like this to communicate over long distances. Master Marcus explained it to me. He'll know how I can tame those unruly students. It says, Master Marcus, only in emergencies, 64179. This is definitely an emergency. I'm losing my students' respect before I even had it. Well, 64179 and, 9. Hopefully this will work this time.
Yes? Hello?
Master Marcus!
Wilbur, what is it?
You have to help me, Master Marcus. The students, they're always asking me questions.
Of course, you're their teacher.
But I don't know the answers. I've only been a teacher for a few days and I'm all alone. And the school is eerie and there's no textbooks and no one wants to learn anything and...
Wilbur, no one expects you to be the perfect teacher right away. Wake your students' enthusiasm for magic. That would be a good start.
How can I inspire my students? I don't know anything about the history of magic.
Obviously not, otherwise you would know that you'll never attract anyone with that subject.
But it's in the curriculum.
Oh, bugger the curriculum. Do what you're good at. Cast spells. Fill them with wonder. Make them want to be able to do the same.
But I don't know how.
Wilbur, you conjured a sheep out of a hat, and you didn't know how to do that either. Go out there and knock them dead. Let the magic do the work. You may not know what you're doing, but you're doing it.
Just do some magic.
Just do some magic.
Your brother called me a natural talent. I am really quite good at magic, right?
You did some incredible things during your training.
I just wish I could control the magic better. Sometimes it just bubbles out of me and other times, nothing.
I think that will come with time. And if not, you will have to rely on your ingenuity.
Why do I have to teach here all alone? Why aren't there any other teachers?
Many mages died during the war. There are only a few of us left. And most of those who survived are now pursuing more lucrative activities. Alchemy, ghost hunting, children's birthday parties.
But training new mages is important. If the rest are just out for the gold, then who will take care of the next generation?
Being a teacher is an important and honourable task, Wilbur, even when others fail to appreciate that.
If it's such an important task, why aren't you teaching at this school?
Politics. My brother is the Archmage, and he's in the middle of an election campaign. If he were to give his own brother a job, well, his opponents would just love that. But I'm not angry. I did my part. I trained mages when no one else would. And I found the most talented gnome mage the world has ever seen.
Apparently there was a powerful gnome mage a long time ago. Did he kill any dragons?
According to legend, the last of the great dragons, Gremma, was defeated by a gnome.
That's the one I mean. What was that gnome's name?
No one knows. He arrived at a time of great need and saved the people of the Southlands by accomplishing the impossible. Then he disappeared without a trace.
Wow. But one of my students asked me for his name.
Then he probably wanted to lead you up the garden path. Some students want to find your weaknesses and see how far they can go. Don't take any guff.
Thanks for your help, Master Marcus. I'll get through the lesson one way or another, and now I'll get back in touch, okay?
Sorry, but no, Wilbur. You caught me packing. I'm off to spend 2 exciting weeks with a couple of friends.
What, you got on vacation? Well, now?
Maybe it's more than just a holiday. I sold the mage school, as you know. I want to start something new. Finally do what I really want to do. Role-playing games.
Role-playing games?
Live role-playing games. They start in a few days. We leave the normal world of magic, monsters and dungeons behind and immerse ourselves in a fantasy world. I play a removals contractor who is caught in a traffic jam with his truck and must therefore spend a night in a motel. Can you imagine what adventures could be waiting there for me?
But I thought being a teacher was really important, and...
That it is! Have fun!
That's Marcus! Hello! Mages use balls like this to communicate over long distances. Master Marcus explained it to me. He'll know how I can tame those Master Marcus told me everything I need to know. Hold your head high, inspire your students, and don't let things get you down. I just wish I wasn't entirely on my own. Mages use balls like this. A magical stove is a fine thing in winter, but in the summer, this small room could quickly become sweltering. A magical stove... Ow! That stone is definitely more than just warm. This has to be the oldest shoe I've ever seen. It's so old it's even lost its ability to stink. That's strange. There's paper in the bottom of the shoe. Oh, maybe the shoe has a hole and the paper is supposed to protect the wearer from getting wet feet. It's a sheet from a book. It's folded in the middle and printed on both sides. That equals 4 pages. It wasn't torn out. It looks more like the glue weakened and the sheet fell. I'll just take a good look. A beautiful golden ear trumpet. One of my predecessors must have laid it up there. A very tall predecessor. Come on, Wilbur. You can do it. You can inspire your students. That's better.
So what about the magic rooms?
No one knows the name of the gnome that defeated Grandma. Nice try. Feet off the desk, or I'll make it bite them off. Enough with history of magic. Let's cast some spells. Fairy games. Doesn't sound bad, right?
Impossible!
Not bad, eh? Wow! That is magic. And here you can learn how to control it. That's it for today. Tomorrow we'll do something else.
Oh, sorry, honey. Get rid of that, will you? I need a word with Mr. Weathervane. Mr. Weathervane, nice to finally meet you in person.
And you are?
How very precious. I rather thought it'd be wise to watch out for you, Mr. Weathervane.
Why watch out for me?
You only play the innocent little country yokel. I always knew that. Your patron, Archmage Alistair, will not win the election against me. Did you know that we're only 3 points behind him in the latest polls?
No, I wasn't aware of that. How may I help you?
Help me? Ha! One of the Archmage's top men wants to help me. You know how the game is played, don't you, Weathervane?
What game?
Things are heating up. The House of Cards is starting to collapse. I know it, and Alistair knows it too. We both lie low, waiting for the other to make a mistake. And he has made the first.
I'd rather play solitaire. Or can I just watch?
Huh, well said, Weathervane. This time there can be no spectators. Everyone is either for us or against us. This time it's about the future of this town and the entire country.
What mistake did the Archmage make?
He hired you. A gnome with a fake diploma issued by none other than the Archmage's brother Marcus.
I earned my diploma honestly. I have passed all 3 of the exams and...
Gnomes know nothing of magic. Everyone knows that. And you've never taught before.
But Archmage Alistair believes in me.
As the head mage, he appoints the professors. But I'm the merchant council leader and I assign the administrative posts. Headmaster Block will reveal your incompetence and the newspapers will report on the Archmage's dubious personnel policy before the election.
You shouldn't have just shot my fairy.
Do not underestimate me, Mr. Weathervane. I am very well aware that those are not fairies. Cobolus Vagastus, flying kobolds. Don't tell me you conjured them up yourself.
Yes, I did. All 5 of them.
Amazing! Powerful magic is needed to manifest living creatures. That is why most necromancers only reanimate skeletons. Dead matter can be much more easily controlled, as of course you know. Or should know.
The new headmaster, who is he?
Horatius Block. A good man, very correct and very strict.
If he can help this school return to its former glory, I look forward to working with him.
Former glory? This old ruin, it was already run down back in my day. And wherever it was for the last 20 years, it definitely looks like they didn't have any cleaners.
My friend, Archmage Alistair, is better suited to bring the city and the country back into shape than anyone else.
Oh, you believe that? He is a great mage. Anyone who doubts that is mad. And he was a great leader during the war, most of the time. But what we need now is someone who understands the economy.
And that's you?
I am a rich and successful merchant. I have rich and successful friends. Who could be better suited to making others rich and successful?
Alistair would step down for you if he believed that.
You know what? I actually believe you're right. Strange, isn't it? How little he worries about defending his power.
So I guess it's all been said, hasn't it?
Indeed. You're on a sinking ship, Weathervane, but I could still be convinced to throw you a life preserver.
I trust the Archmage.
Then, Mr. Weathervane, you shall perish with him. Here, elect Sybil Van Buren. She knows how to get it done. Come along, honey, we're leaving.
There aren't any of these in my book of fairy tales, Mama.
Oh, no, honey. Who wants to look at something that ugly?
Can you turn him into a unicorn, or the Cheshire Cat, or the Frog Prince?
Oh, Chantal forgot her book. Seems to be a book of fairy tales, but one of the tackier kinds. My dad used to read me fairy tales when I was a kid. The bloodthirstiest, most cruel, creepy, proper fairy tales. I'll just leave it there. Chantal can take it tomorrow. I'll just leave it. This is the desk that Chantal, the daughter of the council leader, and little Timmy share. Hard to imagine 2 students being any more different. Chantal is only here because of its tradition in her family, and I don't think she really cares about magic or has any real talent for it. Timmy, though, well, he is eager to learn and was so excited the last few days. It's for students like him that we have to get this school back up and running. This is the desk that hard to Timmy, though. A pencil case. A ruler. Nothing special. This is the desk that hard Timmy. I don't think the Archmage even has brochures like these. No posters or town criers or plays. Either he lacks the gold or he doesn't want to conduct his election campaign in this manner. I don't know exactly why the council leader left the brochures lying here. It was agreed that children can't vote. First they wanted to base eligibility to vote on size, which of course led to resistance among us gnomes and the dwarves. And then they said weight should be decisive. The more you weigh, the more weighty your vote, but then the trolls and ogres would have been overrepresented. In the end, they agreed on a minimum age. However, there are still arguments because rats, undead children, and other minorities can never vote. I don't know who that boy was. He was a right pain in the ass. However, he seemed to understand a great deal about magic, and if I managed to teach him some manners, he could be an excellent student. Generations of students have left their mark, especially in the form of little pictures and sayings carved into wood. Here's a particularly long one. For all drifters and troublemakers, condemned to write the same sentence on the board over and over again, no problem. Cast the automation spell on the piece of chalk and it does it all the work for you. Bartholomew. Hey, aye, that's cheating. Pretty clever though. The spell carved into wood down there, I'll just write it down. Oh, most of the plants have dried up. No one looked after them. Only this plant must have found a water source somewhere. Perhaps one of the windows has a leak. It gives you hope to know that something beautiful and peaceful has survived in this gloomy building. Ah! Ugh! Maybe it was always a carnivorous plant. But then again, perhaps it adapted to its new environment to survive. Don't worry, little plant. From now on, I'll take care of you. You won't have to go hungry anymore. Ugh, that's disgusting. Oh, that smells like rotten eggs. Oh, like Grandad whenever he's eating bean soup. Maybe it was always a Don't worry, little... The last time a fire burned in this was before the school disappeared 20 years ago. And even if I could, I shouldn't start a fire in it anyway. The flue was broken, and the smoke would fill the entire classroom. A little ash, but also some unburned waste. Here's a sheet of paper. Another book page. Or, more precisely, another folded sheet of paper upon which 4 pages have been printed. When I look at the page numbers on the first sheet and on this sheet, it seems there are at least 5 sheets missing. Looks like someone wanted to start a fire and burn the book pages. Lucky for me, they failed. The mixing of potions is an important part of magic. It's a bit like cooking, except a stew doesn't kill you if you add the wrong ingredient. Or if it's stirred wrong. The mixing of potions, no, with a little luck I can get through the day without causing an explosion. Teachers are traditionally paid in apples. I got this one myself, because I didn't want to spend my first day without an apple. This book looks very old and important. Half the class had runny noses. Most were recaptured. This is the roll book where the teacher writes down any unusual events. Plus 5 points for defeating a troll. Minus 50 for leaving your dorm at night. Maybe young Harry is right. That seems a little unbalanced. Whoa! School must have been more competitive back then. The book is too thick to read without looking for anything in particular. The book is... I wanted to ask the Archmage whether good teachers can expect any other form of payment than apples. But when he showed me the beautiful contract with the seal and all that, it just didn't seem to be the right time to talk about gold. The book is too thick to read without looking for anything in particular. Sometimes my wand works perfectly and sometimes less so. I don't quite have the hang of it yet. It didn't let me down this time, though. It worked even better than I expected. It was like it wanted to conjure. I could hardly keep it under control. Ooh, crazy drawings and symbols. That must be really high magic. Only the wisest mages can understand all that. I suspect that some sort of strange magical creatures were kept in the cages. Students, for example. The little fellas look like they've got nothing but mischief in mind. I hope they don't get into too much trouble. They're ugly, but I summoned them. Therefore, there is a special bond between us. They're ugly, but... Unusual. This device looks more like ordinary engineering than it does magic. Most magical devices have lots of golden parts, elaborate decorations, and bells and whistles, just the way the mages like them. This one could easily come from a gnome workshop. What does it say? The apparatus that corrupted student Allardyce. A warning to those who do not want to accept the limits of magic. I'm gonna hold my nose. That gas smells like, well, you know, gas. Luckily, that stinky cloud of gas is short-lived and quickly vanishes. Luckily, Introduction to magic, sheep breeding and care, statistics. That seems to be some kind of timetable. Well, as long as I'm the only teacher, most of these subjects won't get taught. When the school disappeared 20 years ago, obviously no one looked after the animals. Expected consequences, really. When the school... I don't need the whole skeleton, but a sharp-pointed bone like this might just prove useful. It appears they wanted to replicate the fish's natural habitat as exactly as possible, including miniature treasure chests, just like the ones frequently found in the sea. Hey, some old coins. Maybe one of my predecessors had a vicious fish guard his retirement fund. Archmage! Remy!
If it isn't our newest professor. How was your first class, Wilbur?
Great! I conjured up a few kobolds and the students loved it.
Ah, well done. That's the right thing to do. You've already pretty much won the battle, Wilbur. Once they want to learn, they will.
What brings you to the school?
I wanted to pay Horatius Bloch, the new headmaster, a first visit and see how the school's doing.
That's very nice of you. But don't you have more important things to do?
Well, it's my old school. I once walked these halls as a child myself.
What the Archmage doesn't want to tell you is that something is wrong here. For a few days she has sensed the presence of something evil.
So what's he like, the new headmaster?
He's no mage, that's for certain.
He is an agent of the council leader.
First and foremost, he is a reliable official with principles, Remy. The council leader of the merchants did appoint him, and he may advocate her policies. Yet I do not believe he will conspire against us. He is stern, but upright.
Did you see the way he looked at me? Like I was vermin. No, I tell you. The council leader has hired him for one reason and one reason only. He is supposed to make life difficult for our Wilbur here.
Am I being set up to fail so they can put the blame on you, Archmage?
Ah, if that's their plan, then they have already lost.
How's the campaign coming along? I hope we're winning.
We're still in the lead.
But our margin is shrinking. Van Buren's bigwig cronies are throwing tons of gold into her election campaign.
How are things in the town? Have things calmed down?
Not really. The barricades are getting higher and the camp is getting larger.
People are getting impatient, and who could blame them? The war is over, yet everyone is doing worse and worse.
But you're doing your best, Archmage.
It takes time, Wilbur. The deeper the wounds, the longer they need to heal. And nothing causes deeper wounds than war.
We must deliver results. Most still trust Alistair, but the mood could swing. Then we would not only lose the election, we would have a riot on our hands.
The council chairman was here. She picked up her daughter from my class.
Ah, terrible person.
She has great influence, and she has friends in high places.
She could also use her influence to do good, too. So why is she trying to bring you down?
She believes that that would be a good thing, Wilbur. Almost no one wants to do evil. There are just very different views on what is evil and what is good.
You said you sensed something evil earlier. What do you mean?
Everything we do and think leaves a trace. You know how you sometimes shudder when you enter a place where great evil has been done? Dark magic leaves a particularly strong trace, like a bad smell.
And it smells like dark magic around here?
I first felt it a few days ago. First in the lower town, then in the upper town, and now here at the school.
Where did it come from? I mean, do you know who's responsible?
I don't. The trace dissipates. There is too much wild magic in the air here at the school.
We must keep our eyes open at all times. Good detective work will serve us better in this case than some hocus pocus.
I think I'll go see the headmaster. Goodbye, Archmage. Bye, Remy.
Goodbye, Wilbur. Don't let them intimidate you.
I'll do my best, and I won't give up.
I know.
You go on ahead, I'll be along in a minute. I want to talk to you in private. There are problems.
That bit about dark magic all over the city does not sound good.
It's not just that. I think the Archmage's life is in danger.
What?
There was an attack, or there may have been one. Alistair and Sissy was a coincidence, but how often do heavy gargoyles just break off the mage tower when he is standing below them? I have assigned as many rats as I can spare to guard him, but you must also keep your eyes open, Wilbur.
Me?
Not only is something going on in the city, something is happening in the school too. We need information. We need to find out who is behind all this.
I hear Alistair has finally appointed you head of the Secret Service. From King of Thieves to high public office, eh?
Absolutely. Made quite a stir. It is the first time a rat has ever officially held an official government position. More than a few are of the opinion that with so many humans out of work, rats should not receive any jobs at all.
But nobody knows the city like you rats do. You really helped me out during my last adventure. You brought me potion ingredients and my fantastic magic wand.
And you saved Timmy and my entire clan from starvation. We'll never forget that, Wilbur Weathervane.
Timmy was a great help during my first lesson this morning.
Yes, he has done well. He absolutely wants to be a mage, just like his role model.
Just like the Archmage.
No, just like the hero of the Black Tower. For Timmy and many others, you are one of the heroes who ended the war.
Oh, me? Then it's best I talk to the headmaster and ask him what I should do for him.
Whatever it is, just do it and act inconspicuous. But keep your eyes open for anything unusual while you do so. Well, things that look unusual even in an enchanted mage school.
Got it.
Why don't we meet down at the inn after work? Then we can exchange news.
Oh, I just hope Headmaster Block doesn't keep me busy all night.
Oh, you'll be fine. You defeated the Shadow Army, never forget that.
Yeah, just... back then I wasn't alone. What's this? Another book page. I'll take it with me. We carried loads of rubbish out of the school. I guess we must have overseen those. I'll take them with me. Done is done. The school looked terrible when it reappeared. It took days before we could move freely on the ground floor. Don't even want to think about upstairs. I'd love to know what's on the upper floors, but it's far too dangerous. A magical building that's been left on its own for 2 decades has magic seeping through the walls. Could be lethal. The school's not in the best condition, but at least there's a public mage school in Seastone again. And now we will gradually reclaim the building, and I will help train a new generation of mages. We will tidy the classrooms, we will tidy the halls, we will tidy the stairwells. We will never surrender. When you summon creatures, I've read that you don't really create them. You just call them from somewhere else. I don't know where the kobolds came from, but they don't give me the impression they want to go back there soon. If I was as big as a troll, I could maybe reach it. If? When you summon creatures, I don't know. That kobold seems pretty adventurous. He was the first to slip out of the classroom and now he's just buzzing around. No idea how to reach him up there. Well, it's not just that he's very far away, he just never stops flying around. The school's not in the best condition. The worst of the rubbish has been disposed of, but it will still take weeks before everything is clean and tidy. Wow, this isn't dust and dirt. It's like the funk of 40,000 years. It's rock art. As if thousands of feet have trampled it into the floor. Even though no one's been here for 20 years. Or at least as far as I know. The school's not in the best condition. The worst of the rubbish has been disposed of, but it will still take weeks before everything is clean and tidy. Wow, this even... lever. No idea what it does. A lever. No idea what it does. The lever opens a window up there. The lever opens a window up there. Maybe the tapestry shows who the knight served. I don't know much about these things, unfortunately. We didn't have knights in the White Ridge Mountains. Probably they sank in the snow. The tapestry's in a miserable condition, like everything here. The colours are faded and... Hey, there's even a loose thread. The tapestry seems to be magic. At first the thread was very short, but now it's at least 4 paces long. I'll rip it off and take it with me. You can never have enough magic thread. The lever opens a window up. When I first arrived at the school a few days ago, I got a real fright when I first saw it. I mean, I knew about armour from books, but if you imagine that there's a real person inside, and has been for decades, ew. That's silly. Whoever's in the armour would have died a long time ago. Unless it's a ghost. That kobold seems pretty adventurous. He was the... Headmaster Block. I look forward to us working together. That's right. But there's currently a shortage of mages, and everyone must do their best. But the Archmage Alistair trusts me to teach here at the school. I may have no formal training as a teacher, but I managed to thrill my students in the very first hour. I performed a spell, and you could really see the way they caught fire. Not literally, of course. It wasn't a fire spell or anything of that sort. You performed a spell? Yes. And now they want to learn to do the same. They want to learn. According to my records, history... Yes, but... Professor Weatherden, crucial to our success in teaching is that we provide students with... Yes, but the students... Had you enjoyed the proper training, you would have. I will note this failure in your file, and in the future you will stick You mentioned tasks earlier, Headmaster? Yes, you have You want me to sweep the hall and get rid of the cobwebs? Is that really my job as a teacher? If you'd told me to get rid of the flying kobolds, that I would have understood. And apart from cleaning, what else is there to do? The whole library has gone missing. Agreed. But where should I start looking? You support the council leader in the election, right? Tell that to Council Leader Van Buren. Oh, it's one of the campaign brochures the council leader put in my classroom. You ask a lot. I don't know if I can get all this done by tomorrow morning. 72 o'clock. So, I don't even have until tomorrow morning. No, One thing's clear. Headmaster Block wants me to fail, but I won't disappoint the Archmage. And secondly, I like this school. And a school library would be great for the students. And third, the work the headmaster has given me is the perfect opportunity to keep my eyes open for Remy. Is he working for the school? Or himself? Or is he only interested in gaining the council leader an advantage in the election? Excuse me, Headmaster Block. About those tasks. If I have to clean the hall, is there anything I can use to do it with? The cobwebs in the hall are a long way up. You may not have noticed, but I'm a rather average-sized gnome. Can't one or two of the kobolds just stay here in the school? After all, they are magical creatures, and students could examine them and take them for walks. Ah, shame that. I haven't had any luck finding the library yet. I search? Why do so many of the notes on your desk have a small hole in the middle?
First one obviously has a hole in the paper, and secondly, the pigeons are constantly flying into pigs.
I think there's a simpler solution.
And that would be...
You could simply write the letters directly onto the pigeons themselves. As long as the pigeons are white and the ink black, the text should be clearly visible.
Not a bad idea. But it would make the hard writing more difficult.
Records seem to be very important to you.
Order is very important. Records are a tool to their end.
I have a loose leaf binder for spells.
Commendable. Maybe you can do something with this then. There is no room for respect in my house. I will remain.
Gladly. So, I'll get back to work then. The school was founded over 500 years ago. There must be thousands, maybe tens of thousands of files in it. Allardyce, Albert. He seems to be an excellent student. There are many entries about improper interjections and questions. And what's this? Beaverus Deepwood. Beaverus tried to turn wood into gold. In the end, he got mahogany, which in turn he sold for a lot of gold. Brian Blackstone. Brian became the youngest student ever to successfully cast the teleportation spell. He teleported himself 20 feet into the air and successfully fell to his death. Burnison, Troll. Burnison of High Wind Lake managed to collapse the south wing of the school by sneezing. Daniel A. Curlshaw. Daniel conjured himself a magical forest and has not been seen since. D. Zaster. D died in a devastating explosion near a fireplace. His last essay on the development of my fart spell will be passed on to his surviving family. Elmar Frog. Elmar's father, the royal executioner, asked for permission to see his son's school records. Elmar is doing fine. Truly. Really fine lad. Looks as if a few pages were ripped out here. Fluffy Foffofoff. Fluffy transformed pure gold into a tasty piece of bread, so refuting the old saying that you cannot eat gold. Hiker Granger. Despite repeated warnings, which hiker is still using the school's Palantir to make long-distance calls? Frederica Sillybottom. Frederica Sillybottom has applied to the City Council for a change of name. She shall henceforth be known as Frederica Sillybottom. Ingemar Thunderflash. Despite repeated demands, Ingemar refuses to tell us his real last name. No one is called Thunderflash. Yoda Green Gnome. Magic strong in this one is, but weak his grammar be. Lennart the Academic. Lennart the Academic, genius of the buttons, mage of the keys, has broken more brains than hearts, most recently his own brain, which earned him a private suite in the Arkham Asylum. Levin from the Hills. Gifted fire and water mage. Unfortunately, his talents cancel each other out, so is regarded as one of the most incompetent mages in his class. Marcel Makes-a-Lot. Marcel summons large hairy mammals and refuses to stop doing so. Marco Marco intentionally uses words like and because he believes it would be too embarrassing to write them down here. Mario Mushroom. Mario jumps on other people's heads, lights them on fire, and then calls the whole thing non-violent. Mark of the Southlands. Lord Mark of the Southlands yesterday set fire to several teachers and flooded the gym. Again. Movie Van Grove. Movie Van Grove transformed the school sheep into an ape, although the librarian expressly forbids apes in the school. Omadomadillo. Omadom was expelled. It turned out that he was an armadillo in a penguin suit with a sign that said moo. Okay, now that's just weird. Pabba the Great. Pabba the Great, the only student of this academy whose width exceeds his height, today received his degree. He will be missed. Percy Smith. Percy detonated a stink bomb during run-in training. The students never ran faster. Student Smith received an award. Peter, Troll. The Hunters Guild has asked us to find a new caretaker. It seems the grumpy troll snoring and farting is scaring off the wildlife for miles around. René Beetle. René claims to have been in a sky full of diamonds with a certain Lucy. Visits from females are strictly prohibited in this school. So are mushrooms. Russell the Undead. Russell the Undead Mage is constantly losing skin. There have been numerous complaints from the cleaning staff. Sasha Shalislashlatch. This entry was only added to make life difficult for anyone who has to read it out loud. Sorry. Hey, it's not very nice. Serena Derpmancer. Serena discovered a completely new kind of magic. A second, completely unrelated incident then destroyed the entire laboratory. Speedster. Document not found. Did you mean speedster or speed star? Theragor Biratan. Theragor lost today's archery contest after he fired his arrow in the wrong direction. We sent his family flowers. Toby Corner. Toby Corner. Wise remarks, deficient. Wise cracks, good. Toby Corner. Toby Corner. The school was founded over 500 years ago. Axel A. Aronson. Axel cannot pay his school fees as he gives all his money to dodgy game developers. A display case documenting the achievements of pupils of the school. Some sports trophies, pictures of slain dragons, pupils in front of smouldering pots. Pride of Place seems to go to a trophy won in a broom ball tournament. Broom ball originally went by a different name. It was played on broomsticks using 6 winged balls. But there were legal complications. That's why today resembles nothing more than soccer, except that each player has a broom strapped to their back. The display case can't be opened like that. It's locked. Broom ball originally went by but there were... A nice pair of bellows. They really get a fire going. When my family wanted to forge something at home, I was in charge of the bellows. You are the most important gnome in this matter, they often used to say to me. It says, Fireplace Travel Network Map. It shows a lot of fat black dots connected by lines. Above each of the dots is a name. Seastone, Mage Tower, Entrance Hall, Coaching Inn, Fox's Den, and many more. 3 animal symbols are located beneath each of the dots. I've heard about this. Wizards use a powder to travel through the fire in one fireplace to the fire in another. Of course, this doesn't just work with any fireplace. It must be on the fireplace travel network. And this plan shows which fireplaces are connected to which. What an impressive fireplace. If it were lit, it would be warm in here in no time. One of the dots is circled in black ink. Sea Stone, Mage School, Staff Room, that's this fireplace. A few lines lead away from the... Oh, there seems to be two other fireplaces here in the building itself. Sea Stone, Mage School, Astronomicon, and, hey, Sea Stone, Mage School, Library. If this fireplace is connected to the library fireplace, I might be able to use it to get in there. Together with some fireplace travel powder, this fireplace could be my ticket to the library. Together with... This must be the best clock in the world. Most only have 2 or 3 hands. This one has at least 10. I don't really know what the clock wants to tell me, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't just show the time. There's so much to discover. I wish I could stay here forever. A neat pile of firewood. More than enough to make a decent fire. It's really cold in here. I'm going to light a small fire, okay? No, there's some firewood right here. Oh, sure. Headmaster Block would rather freeze than burn school property. I think he's getting a little carried away myself. Oh, how pretty! A swan folded from a piece of paper. This is origami, an ancient elf art form. The dwarven word for this art form means something like pointy ears build dust catchers out of paper because they can't deal with stone. Hey, this isn't just some sheet of paper, it's... Sorry, Swan. It is! Another book page. I'll take it with me.